What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another breakdown. In this video, we're going to be breaking down UFC Edmonton. We're going back to Canada. I mean, hopefully these fighters, Canadian fighters, I know there's a lot of Canadian fighters fighting on this card. Hopefully they do well this year. I mean, on this card. I know that we had one Canadian card. I can't remember which one it was. It was maybe UFC 289 or like, was it the pay-per-view? I think it was the pay-per-view, right? Aldana versus Munhoz where they went like undefeated or something like that. So maybe it was a card, different card, but I know UFC 297. They went like 0-7. All the male Canadian fighters and the women's they actually went 2-0. I think Robertson got a win over can't remember who she beat. I think maybe it's yeah, I can't remember who Steven out there and beat, but I know Jasmine was also on that UFC 297 card. Steven out there beat Pistola Cachoeira, so there should be some good fights on this card. And let's break it down, guys. We're coming off a UFC 308 pay-per-view. It was a really good pay-per-view. We profited from the card. It wasn't much, though. I lost my... I had like 2 parlays with the 1 parlay with Topuria and Ankalaev. I was pretty confident in that parlay. We got that at close to plus money, and that was like the biggest parlay I had. And I had another parlay with the over 2.5 rounds in that Ige fight and Murphy fight, and the over 2.5 in the Shura fight and Petrović fight. And the Petrović fight, I mean, I should have gone over 2.5 rounds, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, the spinning back fist was crazy. I mean, this guy Shura Magomedov, I mean, holy shit. That spinning back fist, the way he set that up, throwing the other spinning back fist to set up the real spinning back fist, like, damn, that was so crazy. I was like, holy, like, what did he hit him with? I thought maybe that it was like a body kick to spinning back fist, but it was like a spinning back fist to another spinning back fist. This is something we don't see that often. I mean, in the UFC, and I knew there was a chance. Obviously, they're gonna be striking. They don't really wrestle all that much, so I knew there was a chance they could probably find the KO. But sure, I guess now he's really trusting. He's putting more game plans out there, you know. And I've seen him go out. I've seen some clips of him training that in the back. So I guess he was looking for that spinning back fist. He was looking for early on. So lost that parlay. I had Whitaker plus 5.5. I think that was a really bad bet on my part. Whitaker plus 5.5. But I knew that there was a possibility Chimaev can steamroll him early. And Chimaev went out there and steamrolled him early. I was wrong in that Whitaker pick, and Chimaev fucking proved me wrong, man. Chimaev was just too good. And I think he can beat DDP. I mean, I want to say DDP can probably survive the storm, but I don't know. Like, you're going to have to, like, I think DDP is going to be a bigger, tougher test than Whitaker. Whitaker is taking a lot of damage, I mean, over the years. And, I mean, I think Whitaker, like, DDP is going to have to go do some trouble early to see the later rounds. I mean, maybe he can use that cardio, but damn, that's going to be a good matchup. I mean, I think they're just going to skip over Strickland. Like, who the hell wants to see Strickland versus DDP? Do you guys want to see Strickland versus DDP? Let me know in the comments. I don't want to see that matchup. I don't really care about that matchup. It wasn't boring. I mean, Strickland versus DDP wasn't boring the first time, but still, like, it wasn't that entertaining. I mean, there were only a lot of, like, with the Chimaev, you know he's going to go, like, full speed early. So he's going to go look for the finish early. If he can't find that finish DDP, I mean, he's definitely live later. So it's not a bad matchup for DDP if he can, like, work on to take the defense, but the guy has been taken on by so many people out there. But anyways, I'm definitely excited, man. I mean, Topuria's got big things on the horizon. I don't know, he's probably gonna fight Volkanovski now. I mean, the knockout punch was crazy. I mean, that left hook, the torch the guy has on the left hook, the way he found that left hook, like, up close. Max, I think he was like kind of like trying to like lean back from Topuria, and the way he found that left hook, I mean, Jesus Christ. At 145, I mean, the power, like, I think it's the power also and the technique, right? The way he just torques that left hook, I mean, up close. It's not like he's not even loading up on it. It's like he sees the opening and then he throws it. Like, it's too good, man. This guy's too fucking good. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was honestly kind of sad for Max Holloway. I still am. But yeah, I mean, Topuria knocking out Holloway, like, I think that kind of builds his legacy more. And he's going to be a big star in the next couple of years. I mean, he's only 27 years old. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy's only 27. I'm so happy that we got a guy like Topuria at 145. With Volkanovski, I know we know Volkanovski put up pretty good fights out there. And Volkanovski not really known for knocking people out. I mean, the way Topuria is. Volkanovski can drop you, maybe finish you on the ground like he did with Yair. But yeah, Volkanovski had some fun fights. They're probably gonna run that one back now. Volkanovski versus a Topuria. Is that gonna be Sydney, Australia? Probably shouldn't be. I mean, Volkanovski's a challenger, right? It shouldn't be. They shouldn't be fighting in Volkanovski's backyard. But from Topuria's brother said, yeah, what Topuria's brother said, he's fine. They're okay with giving Volkanovski that rematch in his backyard. Maybe they're gonna run that one back. But anyways, let's do a breakdown for this card, guys. Canadian MMA guys, what can go wrong? Picking if we pick all the Canadians, what can go wrong? Anyways, I mean, the main event's not that bad. I mean, we got Brandon Moreno taking Amir Albazi. That should be a fun matchup there. That's gonna be a. It's not gonna be a title eliminator. I mean, Royal is right up there, so I don't know. Are these guys gonna be fighting for their title next? Albazi's ranked number 5. Even though I picked him over Kai Kara France, I don't think he won that matchup. Still gave it to him somehow. So, he got that one done. And then we got Rose Namajunas versus Aaron Blanchfield. This was supposed to be the original main event on this card, but I guess the UFC's like, we're gonna give the Canadians a better main event. Now, I'm not saying this fight's not gonna be fun. It could be a fun match, I mean, for sure. But they're like, oh, we can't just give them another WMA main event. I mean, we had plenty of those already this year. I mean, because they know Canadian fans are gonna show up anyways. We love MMA over here in Canada, so I'm not gonna go watch this card. Maybe if it was like in where I live, I'd probably go watch it. But I'm gonna have to take a flight. I mean, but I'm not really do that. I mean, next time they come to like Toronto, I'd probably go watch a card in Toronto. But yeah, let's break down this card. I mean, first fight on the card, we got Jack Shore taking on Yusuf Jalal. This should be a fun matchup. I mean, I'm definitely excited for this matchup. Yusuf Jalal, since coming back to the UFC, he's looked pretty good out there, man. Like, he's getting these takedowns, mixing it up. He can strike with you. He's fast. He can put up numbers. He can put up volume. And Jack Shore, I mean, I like Jack Shore. I think he's pretty well rounded. He's definitely I wouldn't say the more complete fighter. They're both pretty well rounded. I mean, Yusuf Law can wrestle. He can grapple. He can go for submissions. He can strike with you. He can kick your legs off at range. He's got really good footwork also. Jack Shore, I like his boxing. I think his boxing's not bad. Doesn't have a lot of power though. And he's a bantamweight. I mean, just doesn't want to cut all that weight to make bantamweight. And I like him at bantamweight more because he has the speed at bantamweight. I mean, he's definitely got some speed, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a factor here at 145 for Jalal. Um, I mean, he's got the winner, Americani. Americani was taking him down early and ran out of gas like he normally does. We know who Makwan Americani is. I mean, he's fighting in Octagon now, losing fights in Octagon now, so does the same thing. He hasn't changed anything in his game. I'm gonna go with Jalal. I think Jalal is gonna get that takedown, get his back. I mean, Brito was just trying to clinch him, and like he ripped his leg apart with those leg kicks, nasty leg kicks. So hasn't taken enough time off, in my opinion. He's only taking like 5 months off now. He's coming back. I mean, Jalal. I don't think Jalal's that dangerous on the feet. But I could see a role where he catches him off balance with something, then takes his back and like maybe gets a submission. There's a chance this one goes the distance. I mean, they're both pretty tough, but I could see like Jack Shore will give up his back at times. So I'm gonna go Jalal. I think he can find a submission. I'm gonna go Jalal. I like Jalal. I like a sprinkle on the submission. I mean, uses Jalal minus 240. It's not bad, man. And he's lost some tough matchups. I mean, the guys that he's lost to, I mean, other than Sang-Hoo Choi, everyone he's lost to, I mean, he fought Topuria in Topuria's UFC debut, and Topuria was just trying to wrestle him, and he was able to wrestle him all 3 rounds. But he went for some submissions out there. He went for like 18 on Topuria, didn't really have it, but at least he wasn't giving up on himself out there. Then he fought Sang-Hoo Choi. That's probably his worst loss. And then he fought Sean Woodson to a close. This is Sean Woodson is pretty tough to deal with. He's so long and rangy. I mean, he's fought at like heavyweight before in boxing, which is pretty crazy. And he fought Damon Blackshear, where they were both just trying to like grapple each other. I mean, it wasn't really much. Wasn't really happening. He was actually landing more volume overall. And he could have won that fight. I was watching that fight when I was doing research for Damon Blackshear and Damon Jackson. And I think he could have won that fight, to be fair. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Yusuf Jalal. I think he can get this one done. Submission or decision. Um, so under 2.5 rounds, Munhoz to 15. If Jalal gets that takedown, gets his back, I think he's live to find that submission. But there's a likelihood this one go the distance. But I don't mind sprinkling. I sprinkle Jalal by submission plus 900. So I think you can put at least 20 on that. I mean, he's been finishing people since he's come back to the UFC. So there's a chance that this guy's really improved, and I think he has. He's only 20 years old. He's been in there with guys like Tapuria, so that's only gonna level him up in terms of the fight game. All right, next fight on the card we got Jamie Lynn Horth taking on Evgeny Petrović. This one's like, I faded Petrović with Luana Carolina. I picked Carolina. I just think Carolina is like quick, really snappy. There's a lot of volume out there. Even though it's not really hurting you, it doesn't really have any power behind those shots. Just landing out there. So you can definitely put up a lot of volume, and like she throws these like she's like what's that girl? Caitlin Chukagian and Luana Carolina. I mean, like there's like a bunch of girls that like fight the similar way, and they're just high volume strikers. And Petrović couldn't really get her game going there, so just one step behind. Then she went out there as like a minus 500. I had her by a second round finish. I think I had her by like a second round finish at like plus 325. Normally, you don't never see like finish props like that, round props. I mean, when like her to finish that fight was like minus 300, and it took her till the third round to finish Na Liang. Let that sink in for a minute. I mean, Jesus Christ, Petrović. She should have finished her in the second on us. She was actually like getting taken on by Na Liang. Na Liang is actually kind of tough to deal with in the first round, but like you should be able to take over in the second and at least put it on her, get her out of there earlier. Na Liang, I mean, winning over Na Liang doesn't really mean much. She's got a couple wins in her UFC. I don't really rate UFC that much. I'm not really high on Jamie Lynn Horth either. I just think she's gonna be better. Like she's gonna be better in the clinch, better when it comes to takedowns. I think Lynn Horth can use her physicality and take her down. Maybe bully her on the mat. Maybe get a submission. I think it's gonna go longer. I think she's just gonna wrestle her. She's got submission skills. I mean, but I could see a world where she finds that submission, but I think Petrović is pretty tough. I mean, she's been in there with not much. I mean, she hasn't really been in there with the highest level of opposition. But Na Liang was putting her in some tough spots out there. So I think she's gonna be able to go the distance here. I'm gonna go Jamie Lynn Horth to win on the scorecards. The line is definitely kind of crazy, but I get it. Minus times you actually open up at plus 185. That's crazy. Yeah, the value is not there anymore. Minus 210. The over 10 minus 400 for the over. It probably goes over, but I don't know. Like minus 400 for this one. Like Petrović, we haven't really seen much of her at the UFC level. She's gone the distance against Carolina. Carolina is not dangerous at all. I don't think Lynn Horth's that dangerous, so you can definitely like bully you and maybe look for a submission or like ground and pound. And we have seen Petrović get taken on, so could happen. But I'm gonna say Lynn Horth on the by decision on the scorecards. Next fight on the card, we got Chad Anheliger taking on Cody Gibson. This should be a fun fight. Anheliger is pretty underrated when he's not getting taken down by guys out there. He's coming off that win over Charlampus Gregorio, run of the litter at Weidman MMA. Gregorio. I don't want to think about this dude. Gregorio is pretty good. I mean, he doesn't know how to fight at this level. I mean, he thinks he's just gonna go out there and steamroll you early in the first like 10 seconds, and when he can't do that, he doesn't have a backup plan. That's pretty much what my breakdown Gregorio is at this point. Cody Gibson can do it all, man. He can wrestle. He's gonna be longer. He's gonna be a lot bigger for this fight. He got cut. I mean, then he was fighting Eagle FC. Ray Borg is pretty good. Losing Katona is not bad. That was actually a fight of the night against Katona. I think they both landed over like 100 significant strikes. It was crazy. Well, high volume by Cody Gibson. Then against Malott Johns, I had Malott Johns. I've done pretty well. I picked Katona to beat him. I picked Johns to beat him. And I picked him over Kelleher by submission, obviously. Kelleher just is not even in the UFC anymore. Kelleher shouldn't be fighting in the UFC anymore. I don't think he is, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna go to Cody Gibson. I think he's gonna get that takedown. If he gets his back at any point, I think he could be live for a submission. Now Anheliger, he's gonna be training hard. He's fighting in Canada, but when you're getting taken on so easy by Anheliger. Anheliger can wrestle. I think Haley, can wrestle. Alligator can wrestle too. I think he was actually taking on Charlampos. Was he taking on him? Maybe he was defending takedowns. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, he was getting taken on by Jose Johnson. Jose Johnson is like similar to Cody Gibson. He's really tall, long, and I think Gibson can go out there. Maybe find a submission. Maybe go the distance. Anheliger is definitely more durable than Kelleher, but I think Gibson can. Gibson actually rocked him with an elbow. He landed a pretty nasty elbow in Kelleher and wobbled him. Then he got the back and subbed him. Anheliger is definitely like tough matchup though, but they're both 37 years old. Do you guys really want to be laying minus 200 on Cody Gibson, minus 187? I don't know, man. They're both 37 years old. This could be a close fight. They might favor the hometown guy, Anheliger. I'm going to go with Cody Gibson to win. I'm going to say Cody Gibson gets it done. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 245. It probably goes over. I think it probably goes over. Gibson by submission. What's Gibson by submission? Plus 400. I think there is some value there on plus 400. Cody Gibson by submission, maybe. If he can get his back and maybe find a submission. We have seen Anheliger get caught up in submissions later in fights when he can't fight after takedowns and he gets really tired later. He makes a lot of mistakes on the ground. Yeah, give me Cody Gibson. Next fight on the card, we got Sidey taking on Garrett Armfield. This should be a fun fight. I think this is going to be a striking matchup. Sidey can grapple. He's grappled not much outside the UFC, but he has. I've seen him like maybe mixing a takedown here and there. But he's not really. He's going to be looking to go out there and strike, right? He's going to be striking out there. And Armfield is definitely the guy that has more power. Like, he can rock you with one big shot. He's got pretty clean boxing also. And he's pretty good. We've seen him in the UFC now. Like, he's 2-2 in the UFC. He's taking some tough matchups. When he took on David Nam on short notice, up a weight class at 145. That was definitely a tough matchup. He had some good moments in that first round. Before he got caught up in a submission in the second. Yeah, I think he was really tired in the second round. So Armfield's a guy that's gonna like start fast and he can like catch you early, maybe rock you, then he's gonna slow down as the fight drags on. And against Katona, he was able to just like defend takedowns against Katona. Katona doesn't really have a lot of power on the feet, and he was able to rock him on the feet. Katona, he lost, like, Armfield won that fight pretty easy, but he still was getting taken on in the second, third round. So this one's definitely like a tougher fight to do a breakdown on. I like Sidey. I like the volume that he's gonna go out there and put. I've seen him get dropped out there. Torres was able to drop him. He showed he can recover. He can come back and still land high volume. I think he should have won that fight. It was really close, though. I get it why they gave it to Torres, because he had the knockdowns and he was landing some nasty body shots. I don't know if Armfield's going to be landing a lot of body shots. He goes for the head most of the time. He's a head hunter. I'm going to go with Sidey. I think Sidey's going to squeak out a close decision. I'm going to say Sidey gets it done. I think he can land the volume. He's tough enough. He's got cardio. He's going to be pushing harder. And I think Sidey's pretty good, man. Well, not an easy matchup. He's definitely got the reach advantage over Armfield and the height. So Armfield's gonna have to close that distance, and I think Sidey can land those kicks, those body kicks, those body shots. He knows how to mix it in pretty well. Sidey minus 155. Yeah, give me Sidey at home. Next fight on the card, we got Alexander Romanov taking on Rodrigo Nascimento. Who doesn't want to see this matchup? I cannot wait to wake up on Saturday morning to watch Alexander Romanov taking on Rodrigo Nascimento. What a matchup, guys. What an absolute banger. Holy shit. Alright, so Romanov was on a huge run, and this guy had so much hype on him. People are saying this guy's gonna go out there and like he's got some big wins. When he subbed Marcos or Dario de Lima, like, that was a pretty high level win. De Lima is pretty good. Lima is not bad either. Submitting Lima is like pretty impressive. Because Lima, I think he has a big BJJ black belt. He's got a ground and pound over Jared Bandera. that Juan Espino fight, I mean, he was looking really tired, man. He was not winning that fight. I don't know. I guess he had some takedowns, so they gave him that fight. But he was. I remember those fights pretty clearly because I had money on Romanov, and I don't. I don't think he won that fight. I don't. It wasn't really going his way. I mean, if they didn't stop the fight right there, they would have just. I think Espino would have won that fight for sure. So like we know Romanov can go out there and get that early takedown and finish you early. He's pretty heavy on top. I mean, they call him the polar King Kong for a reason. You don't want to let this guy get on top of you and rain that nasty, which is ground and pound. But yeah, I just can't like trust him to go out there and like, get that early takedown. If he can't get you out of there, like Nascimento is pretty tough, man. Like he went to third round with Derek Lewis. I mean, Derek Lewis carries that power later, and I don't even know. I don't know. Was he winning that fight? He might have been winning that fight. I can't remember exactly. No, I had Derek Lewis there. So I'm happy Lewis got it done, but UFC gave Lewis some trouble early. He was like mixing in takedowns on Lewis. I think Lewis was trying to wrestle him offensively. It was really weird. It was a really weird fight. I mean, I'm not even that impressed by Nascimento. I just think he's better than Hermana when it comes to cardio and going the distance. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Nascimento to win by like a maybe late submission or like maybe a late submission or like decision. I mean, this one could go longer. I mean, I could see this one going longer. If I go the distance plus 140, I think there's a chance this one can go longer if Nascimento wins. I mean, he doesn't really press on the gas enough to get you out of there. He's okay with like just winning a boring fucking decision. I mean, that's the thing about Nascimento. I hope Romanov goes out there and smashes him. It'd be fun to watch him do that. But I like the over. I think it's gonna go over 1.5 rounds, minus 170. I think it'll go over 1.5 rounds if Nascimento wins. You might as well. I think live betting Nascimento is probably the way to go for this one, because you don't know. Like he might go out there and get taken on early, but he's a BJ black belt, so it's not really easy taking him on. Even though we have seen guys take him down before. I think that was who was it? It was Latifi that was taking him down. He couldn't really hold him down for long though. Oh man, didn't he beat Don Tomez twice? I mean, by the way, he subbed him the first time. Don Tomez can wrestle too, but obviously not at this level. Romano was actually ranked number 15. How crazy is that? He went out there and beat Blagoevina. Blagoevina was losing fights in PFL. Now I defeated him in PFL in his debut this year. He was actually striking was actually not looking bad in that fight. So like it's like what kind of shape is Romano gonna come in? Is he gonna look good on the scales? So you're gonna have to watch the weigh-ins for this one. I'm gonna take Nascimento at even money here. Next fight on the card, we got Charles Jourdain taking on Victor Henry, man. Charles Jourdain moving down to bantamweight 135. How is that weight cut gonna go for this guy? Because he's pretty big, dude. 5'9", 69-inch reach. And now he's moving down, trying to have an advantage over these bantamweights, trying to use that size, physicality. Getting knocked out at John Silva is not even bad. I mean, he should have stayed at 145. I feel like there's some good matchup for him at 145, and that should not have been a split decision. I had Jourdain, I had money on him there. I don't think he won even one round out there. And he's got wins over Ricardo Ramos and Kron Gracie. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Victor Henry. I think Victor Henry is pretty basic in what he does. Victor Henry can put up high volume, doesn't really have a lot of one punch power. He can't really drop you, where Jourdain's gonna be throwing spinning back fists, like high kicks up the middle. I mean, Victor Henry's 37 years old, man. I don't know. Like this one's like Jourdain is pretty good, but like if he's not finishing ITD, like he's not finishing inside the distance, like how is he gonna win, Lamb? And the guy's like fucking 2-5 when it comes to fights going the distance, and I just can't trust him to go out there and put up high volume if he can't finish you early. And I don't think he's finishing Victor Henry early. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Henry. Maybe you can go out there and like catch him in a submission. Jourdain is pretty slick when it comes to BJ. If you shoot a takedown on him for no reason, I don't think Victor Henry's gonna be shooting takedowns on him. Victor Henry's 5'7", so he's gonna be the smaller guy in this for this fight. But I'm gonna go with Victor Henry to win by decision. Maybe like a split decision. I think it's gonna be one of those fights. Victor Henry plus 100. I'm gonna go with Victor Henry. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 300. Victor Henry by decision. What's that? Jourdain by submission plus 1600. You might as well pinkle that because I think that's the way he's gonna win if he wins, catching him in a submission. Henry has pretty good takedown defense. I mean, but he's fighting a featherweight here, so maybe that can help Jourdain. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Henry. I don't know. This isn't prop as you might as well take the money line. It's plus money. But it's in Canada, so things can get tricky out there. I think fight goes the distance is pretty good, minus 250. Or you can play Jourdain ITT finish only. I think that's not bad either. Henry by distance plus 155. I think if he wins, it'll probably be like a close decision, you know. So I'm gonna go Victor Henry. I just think I like the more volume from Victor Henry. Jourdain, he can throw some kicks out there. I mean, he's not bad. I don't know, man. This one's Jourdain. I can't really trust Jourdain. Like, I picked him. I mean, I didn't pick him in that Jones Silva fight, obviously, but I picked Jones Silva there. But he wasn't looking bad early, like in that fight. To be fair, he's throwing a lot of kicks out there. Now he's coming off a knockout loss. Now he's cutting all the weight to make bantamweight. They've given him a pretty good matchup again. Victor Henry doesn't have a lot of KO power, so cutting all that weight to make 135, and it's not like they're giving him a power puncher. So at least that's gonna maybe help him here. Victor Henry can do it all, though. He can handle his own when it comes to grappling. He can put up numbers on the feet. He's a high volume striker. Yeah, I'm gonna go Victor Henry by decision. Next fight on the card, we got Ariane Lipski taking on Jasudavicius. Lipski's my girl, man. You guys know I picked her, Lipski. I didn't pick her against Cornelius Silva. We all know Cornelius Silva was the real fucking deal. I mean, I wish Cornelius Silva went out there. We got our plus money in Cornelius Silva, so make sure you guys subscribe. I gave you guys that play when it was plus money. Cornelius Silva at Moneyline plus 110. And she went out there. Like, I had her with Casey O'Neill. We had her with Casey O'Neill. I did my breakdown. I told you guys how she would probably win that matchup. I had her over Melissa Gatto also, and I don't think I had her over JJ Alters. So I'm actually not doing terrible when it comes to Lipski fights. Her takedown defense definitely gotten better recently. Like, she was getting taken on. I think she got taken on like 4 times in that fight. She was able to like get up to her feet. I mean, in that Cornelius Silva fight. Now, we haven't seen Cornelius Silva go the distance in the UFC before that fight. She's normally getting girls out of there early. So the fact she's still able to control her for like 7 minutes in that fight is pretty impressive for Cornelius Silva. We know she's got cardio now. Now, Jasmine is going to be able to do the same, I feel like. She's going to be... Her striking is not good, I mean, to say the least. I mean, she's a brawler. I mean, her striking is not good. All she needs to do is get in close. She's able to get in close on your hips, so you can get that takedown, double leg takedown, body lock, trap takedown. I think Jasmine is going to put a pace on her. Go for all these takedowns. She's not going to give up on those takedowns. You can't get that first takedown or second takedown, third takedown. She's going to keep shooting takedowns, and I think she's going to get him. I like Jasmine here. The number seems kind of crazy, but I like Jasmine. I think she's going to go out there and fight a good game plan. Now, the mistakes he made in the Tracy Cortez fight, he wasn't really trying to wrestle early. She wrestled in the later half of that fight, and once he wrestled, he was able to get the takedowns on Tracy Cortez. Now, there's definitely a path to victory for Lipski with the striking. Her combinations are better on the feet. She's got power on the feet, so you can maybe drop her. But Jasmine has a pretty good chance. She's been in there against high-level strikers like Natalia Silva. I don't know if she got beat up in Natalia Silva fight, but Natalia Silva is going to be fighting for the belt real soon, probably in the next year or so. I mean, soon. Maybe in the next 6 months or so. You never know. But I'm going to go Jasmine. I think she's going to put her pace on her. Even if things aren't really going well for her on the feet, I think she can still get those takedowns and get that control. Maybe look for a grounded pound finish. I mean, Lipski has definitely improved when it comes to a ground game. I think I'll go the distance. I think she's just going to control her. Minus 225 for Jasmine Jasudavicius. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 260. I think it goes over. I mean, Lipski's been finished before, but recently her durability's definitely gotten better recently. In the last 2 years, I mean, she's in her prime right now. I think she's going to be able to go the distance here. Next fight on the card, we got Ayman Zahabi taking on Pedro Munhoz. Oh, man, here we go. Pedro, the young Punisher. I'm going to go with Zahabi. I'm not even that high on Zahabi. Zahabi barely throws any volume out there. It's like, Betting this guy is got to be so frustrating. But what I'll say about Zahabi is he's a really safe fighter, man. The guy's got high fight IQ and doesn't engage much. I mean, that's the thing about him, Zahabi. Like, and Pedro is like he could probably be like what 4-0-1 his last 5 fights if he didn't drop Gutierrez early. Gutierrez was starting to take over later in that fight, but Gutierrez was able to drop Gutierrez early in the first round and dictate the. I mean, just I think it kind of like scared Gutierrez from engaging with him in the later rounds in the pocket up close. And the power was definitely a factor there. I mean, every time Pedro was landing, it was like you can tell it was kind of like impacting Gutierrez every time. And think about this fight, as Zahabi's got power also. He can knock you out, and he can knock you out. Pedro is really tough, so I don't think he's getting knocked out here. I mean, we've seen that with Max Holloway, though. It doesn't really matter how many times we've gone the distance. There's a first time for everything, so maybe Zahabi can rock him and finish him. Pedro is 30 years old. I mean, Zahabi is 36, so he's right up there at 37. I'm gonna go Zahabi. I just like the momentum. And Pedro, he lost every round against Tyler Phillips. I mean, just didn't have any success out there. Yeah, I just when you can put up a volume on Pedro Munhoz, doesn't really have an answer. He observes a lot of volume. And Zahabi, he's gonna hopefully he can go out there and like I think he's gonna like make him fight at a slower pace. He's not really gonna engage you that much. If Zahabi threw more volume, I'd be on his money line already. I would bet him at plus money, plus 110. I think he's like minus 108 now. I just the volume is what scares me with Zahabi. But Zahabi, he's got Faraj Zahabi in his corner, his brother, so they're gonna have a good game plan. Like every time Faraj Zahabi's in someone's corner, man, they're getting wins over there. He got a win over Javid Basra recently. Faraj Zahabi got Rafan back on track with a win over Khaled Falez as a big underdog. So these guys know how to have good game plans out there for their fighters. I'm gonna go with Zahabi. He's minus 120. Still get him at plus one, minus 105 on some books out there. Yeah, give me Zahabi to win. I think he can win a close 29-28 decision. Next fight on the card, we got Mike Malott taking on Trevin Giles. Now, what a matchup, guys! What an absolute matchup here. Mike Malott let me down. I mean, I'm sure he let all you guys down when he went out there and fought Neil Magny. He was actually winning that fight. Couldn't really get a lot of ground and pound going, and couldn't really look for get the submission off early like we thought he was gonna go there. Maybe submit Magny early because we've seen Magny stuff so many times. But this is a good matchup for him, Trevin Giles. This guy just finds a way to get finished every time. It's like the perfect matchup for Mike Malott. Trevin Giles has been finished all 6 times. I mean, he's lost to some high-level guys. I mean, Carlos Prates. I think Prates knocks out Mike Malott. Gabriel Bonfim. That would be a good match against Gabriel Bonfim and Mike Malott. He tried to take down Bonfim early for no reason at all. Like, why even shoot a takedown? Bonfim is not known for like going for guillotines, and this guy shot a takedown on him. And then he was winning that Carlos Prates fight. Then he got chinned in like the last like second half of that round, second half of the second round. I mean, these guys had a pro grappling matchup. I mean, Mike Malott was able to get the better of that. Mike Morales was able to knock him out. Morales is top contender. Rodriguez Duplessis was able to knock him out, but the way he just gets knocked out, I mean, even Gerald Mearshart was able to submit him in the 3rd round. So all these guys that are finishing him, and these guys are half finished, a lot of are finishes. I mean, and Mike Malott is a finisher, right? Like every time he's out there winning his finishes, he's never won a decision. So I think Mike Malott can go out there and like exploit his grappling. I think he can get the submission, man. I think Mike Malott can chin him on the feet, can knock him out on the feet. He can. Trevin Giles, I think he's got one of the better jabs. If you can keep Mike Malott at the end of his jabs, he can maybe win. But I just think 15 minutes. I mean, Mike Malott's gonna have a lot of time to find those big shots. I mean, get that wrestling going, get that grappling going. He already knows how strong Giles is, so he can take him down. Maybe get a submission off. Maybe get a ground and pound off. I'm gonna go with Mike Malott. I think he can get that submission off. Mike Malott right now is minus 250. Yeah, and I know we all got PTSD from that Neil Magny fight, but I think Mike Malott, that was his first time going to the 3rd round, and we've seen him quit out there, so that's never a good sign. Yeah, I think Mike Malott can get this one done. Submission. I'm on the submission already. Plus 300. I like the submission here. Malott by submission. I could see like a club and stuff because if he hurts you, like he's not gonna. He can go for grounded pound sometimes if he really sees like you're not there. But normally he'll like jump on you with the guillotine or like arm triangle. Like he can go for a lot of different submissions. The guy's high level on the ground, and Giles just finds a way to lose by finish. Next fight on the card, we got a Mark under Barriault taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. Man, why do I gotta make a pick for this one? This one's so tough. Like Stoltzfus is not as bad as people think. I mean, I thought this guy was horrible. I was like shitting on this guy before he fought Punahele Soriano. Bro, he actually dropped Punahele Soriano. Like, he's got power, man. Justin Stoltzfus, he's got a win over Joe Piper. It was a freak injury, but come on, still, like, this guy's not bad, man. He's fought Adolfo Vieira. He was actually not doing bad in that fight. He was actually, I think he was winning the striking exchanges. Adolfo Vieira, maybe, no, I think Rodolfo Vieira was actually winning the striking exchanges. So he's definitely not as bad as people think. He was actually winning that Bruno Ferreira fight early, taking on Bruno Ferreira. Is he going to take on Mark under Barriault? Barriault is pretty good, man. Barriault has cardio. He can like put a pace on you. Could put a volume on you. You can fight in the clinch up close. He can land his elbows. He knows how to fight really dirty. And Stoltzfus, he wants to kind of fight a technical fight. He wants to like take you down, dictate the pace. Man, I could see Stoltzfus hurting him early, and I could see Barriault just pulling through later. So like, I'm gonna go with Barriault. I think he's probably gonna break him later in this fight. Stoltzfus is gonna be live early if you can use that grappling, but I mean Barriault's only been subbed one time by Hernandez. I mean Hernandez is an absolute menace to society. Chidi Njokuani was able to knock him out, but Chidi has a lot of power. Is one of the way better strikers than Justin Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus is not bad, man. So I'm gonna go with Mark Andre just because I like his durability and cardio. Mark under Barriault minus 200. Yeah, I'm not betting minus 200. I don't know. I don't think it should be this big of a favorite over Stoltzfus. I think it should be like minus 130, minus 140 at the very most. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Barriault to find like maybe go the distance. I think he's probably gonna find a knockout later in the third round, maybe. Next fight on the card, we got Kyle Machado taking on Branson Ribeiro. Oh man, Kyle Machado. He's moving down to 205 here. Is he moving on 205 or is this a heavyweight? This is actually yeah 205. So he's moving down 205 because things haven't really worked out for him since his debut in the UFC. Now he's gonna if he doesn't win this fight, he's probably gonna get cut from the UFC. Now he's fighting back at home with all that pressure. I mean, getting taken on by Dontel Mays. I mean, over and over, D1 Mays. Mick Perkins, no, like some people think he won that fight. He put up high volume with Mick Perkins, and he was still getting taken on by Mick Perkins. Mick Perkins is pretty good. And his striking looks so sloppy, man. Kevin Swarovski fight. Now he looks to be taking this fight more serious. Like he's definitely trimmed down. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's going against someone like who's got power, big power, can knock you out, can catch you in submissions. Ribeiro almost caught Magomed Ghazi Yusuf in a submission, a guillotine, nasty guillotine in the second on. So the guy's dangerous, man. He's definitely the better finisher when it comes to like finishing fights. He finished Bruno Lopez. I mean, that's better win than anything that Kyle Machado has. Like Bruno Lopez, UFC. I think it's a LFA. Now he's in UFC. Got a win in a contender series. I don't think he's that good, but he's definitely well-rounded. Ken Russell has BJ black belt. And Branson Ribeiro is a glass cannon. He's got no chin. So like if you can land clean on him, you can knock him out. But the guys that are knocking him out, Min Yang Yang has got huge power, he's got a huge chin. So the guys that are knocking him out, I mean, they're actually pretty good. I don't know. This one like seems like Machado should win. But I'm gonna go with the Ribeiro. I just think that power, if he starts landing the jab out there, he's gonna piece up Machado. And maybe Machado can like mix it up and high volume, but I really don't like his striking that much. I'm gonna go with Branson Ribeiro to get it done. Plus 139 for Ribeiro. Man, people seem really confident Machado here. I don't know. Under 1.5 rounds, minus 120, plus 120. I think it probably goes under 1.5 rounds. Next fight on the card, we got Derek Black Beast Lewis taking on Jonathan Diniz. Here we go, man. Here we fucking go. Derek Lewis, I mean, this is like the hardest guy to make predictions on, Derek Lewis. Because if he's on, man, he can win that fight. I mean, at a high clip, you can like knock your lights on. But yeah, I got a feeling Janata is gonna be fighting safe out there. Janata is pretty hittable. I know he's a glory kickboxer, and people like think he's like this glory world champion or some shit. He's not. He's really not. I mean, the reason he's in the UFC right now is because he couldn't really do all that well in the glory kickboxing. For MMA, his kickboxing is definitely better. He's gonna be the better technical striker against Derek Lewis. But Derek Lewis, man, he's 39 years old. I mean, it doesn't really matter at heavyweight that much. But I feel like Janata is going to be quicker. He's going to be landing combinations. He's going to be landing those leg kicks on Derek Lewis. Maybe frustrate him. Maybe play the Matador to Derek Lewis. Man. I just think Diniz is probably gonna get him. I mean, I got a feeling Diniz is gonna get this one done. He hasn't fought anyone to the level of Derek Lewis. I mean, for sure. He's fought Austin Lane. If Derek Lewis takes him down and gets on top of him, it's gonna be over. If Derek Lewis takes him down, it's gonna be over pretty quick. So he better hope Derek Lewis doesn't get on top of this guy if you're betting Diniz. I'm gonna go with Diniz. I think he can get this one done. So I'm gonna go Diniz to win. Does he find the KO? Does he go the distance? I mean, Carl Williams just wasn't trying to wrestle out there. I'm happy they cut Carl Williams now. I guess they told Carl Williams not to wrestle the UFC. Then when he finally wrestled, he took Diniz down in the third round. Derek Lewis, man, like he finds a knockout, man. Doesn't matter. Like, you probably live betting Derek Lewis is probably the way to go. Because if he doesn't knock out early, he's gonna be a problem, man, in the later rounds. He's got the way he flying need Marcos or Dario Lima. Then he went out there, just got taken on Jal Tomato. He definitely showed toughness there. Like, he wasn't finished by Jal Tomato. Tai Tuivasa was able to knock him out. He was actually trying to take down Tai Tuivasa, and Sergey Pavlovich was able to just steamroll him. If they start trading in the pocket, man, Derek Lewis is gonna knock him out. So like that's the thing I'm worried about Janata Diniz. But I'm gonna go Janata. I'm gonna go with the new guy on the block. Next fight on the card, we got Rose Namajunas taking on Aaron Blanchfield. No, this is gonna be a fun matchup. I mean, Blanchfield is coming off that L to Manon Fear. They both fought Manon Fear, and Rose definitely looked better in that Manon Fear fight than Blanchfield. Now, Blanchfield is a wrestler. I mean, a grappler. This is because he's got solid BJJ, and the striking is sloppy. And if you're willing to just exchange with her in the pocket, that's where he can do really well. Because she has a pretty good chin on her. Doesn't throw any kicks out there. She's not really. She can throw that inside leg kick, I mean, from time to time. Doesn't really like follow up on it. Doesn't throw enough combinations. I mean, the only time I've seen her striking look really good against Jessica Andrade. Now, to be fair, Jessica Andrade was going through some trouble in her personal life. Like, she's going through a divorce, I think, with her ex-husband. So I don't know if she's really prepared for that fight. But she was definitely landing Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade is like really stationary, really like low gravity. She just keeps her chin right up in the air, so it's like pretty easy to hit her. So the striking is not shocking that the striking was looking pretty good in that fight. Then she was able to just like bully Santos in the clinch. Santos doesn't really have the best gas tank either. And even though she couldn't get a single takedown Santos, and she just clinched her and she just held her in the clinch for like all 15 minutes. It was really boring. Yeah, even the JJ Aldrich fight, he's actually getting outstruck by JJ Aldrich, losing that fight before he got that guillotine submission. So Blanchfield's gonna be live first submission here for sure. But I'm gonna go with the cleaner striker, Rose. I think she's gonna have the better striking. So you can also, I don't want to see her mixing takedowns in this fight. Now, she's actually been mixing in takedowns out there, so that's the thing I'm worried about. That's the reason I haven't bet her yet, because like she's going out there mixing in takedowns on she mixed in takedowns with Jang Wei Lee, She was mixing and takedowns against Amanda Hebus. Hebus actually took her down in the second round, like third round, I think it was. She got on top of her. So Rose can make mistakes when she's the one getting taken on. And the Tracy Cortez fight, she knocked on Tracy Cortez in the first round. Then she started mixing and takedowns, give Tracy different looks out there. So the game plan for Rose would be don't mix and takedowns here. Like, don't try to mix and takedowns here because Blanchfield is pretty strong in the clinch. And see if she gets on top of her, like Blanchfield's gonna be live for a submission, for sure, 100%. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Rose. She's got more experience, more 5-round experience. She knows how to win rounds. I mean, she can still go for a takedown towards the end of the round just to like put a stamp on her run. She's got high fight IQ. I think people don't give Rose the credit that she deserves when it comes to fight IQ. Could be a close fight. Erin can take her down and control her on the mat. But I'm gonna go with Erin. She does put a lot of pressure on him, even though she was getting pieced up for 5 rounds in the Manon fight. She kept putting pressure on Manon Fear. She kept trying to walk her down every second of that fight. So Blanchfield's not gonna be an easy fight for her. But I'm gonna go with Rose, the better striker. Rose Namajunas is plus 110. So I'm gonna go with Rose to win. I think it's gonna go over. I think Rose is gonna win it close. I think Blanchfield's not getting KO'd here. It's just really tough. Then fight goes the distance, minus 250. I think it's gonna go the distance. I like Rose to win. I like the money line. It's not bad. Plus money on Rose. Next fight on the card, we got Brandon Moreno taking on Amir Albazi. Amir Albazi is coming back after some injuries, some neck injury. I think he had a neck injury recently, and he fought Kai France. I picked him there over KKF, and I don't think he won that fight. It was pretty clear that Kai France should have won that fight for rounds 2-1. I think the only round I gave Albazi was the third round because he got a takedown and was able to backpack Kai France in that third round. Albazi can come out here and look really good. I mean, he's got power on the feet. He's pretty well rounded. He's got cardio. We know he can go 5 rounds. He's tough. He's got a pretty good chin on him. But man, Moreno's like, I don't know where Moreno's at either. I mean, he's lost 2 fights in a row, won to the champion, close fight. It was a scrap, and he lost a close fight to Ribeiro. I mean, that should have been unanimous for Ribeiro, but it is what it is, you know. Now, he was landing some good shots, but he wasn't really like one pressuring forward. He was letting Ribeiro just kind of dictate the pace of that fight. So that's the thing about Moreno, man. That's the thing about that worries me with Moreno. Like, does he still have the hunger to go for the title again? He's already been the champ. He's already made all this money. Now this is a matchup that he could win because he can put up high volume on Albazi. Albazi doesn't throw enough volume out there. Albazi's gonna have to mix some takedowns, and I'm just not sure if he will be able to mix some takedowns and consistently enough on Moreno. Like, I think Moreno is a better wrestler than KKF, and KKF was able to defend takedowns. I mean, only got taken on like 1 time or like 2 times maybe at the very most. I'm gonna go with Moreno to win. I think Moreno can get this one done. I like the overs. I think this is gonna go over 4.5 rounds. Moreno has finished before, like finished Figueiredo. He's finished Kai France, so he can definitely finish you. I mean, if you're not careful out there. Moreno is tough, really tough. Never been finished. I mean, if this one goes the distance, I mean, Moreno hasn't really won a lot of decisions out there. But yeah, look at the level of opposition. I mean, it's not even close. The only time that I've seen Moreno get finished, I think, was by submission against Pantoja in Ultimate Fighter. So that's the only time he's ever been caught up in a submission. And Pantoja had his back for like 25 minutes and he couldn't submit him. I think he's gonna be tough enough to not get caught up in submission here. Let's see what the odds are. I mean, so Albazi plus 150. I mean, definitely kind of crazy, but he doesn't. They only threw like 30 significant strikes in that Karakara front. So I mean, now he's coming off a neck injury, a layoff. Maybe he's probably more hungry though. He's probably more hungry to fight for the title. I mean, the guy is 5-0 in the UFC. I know the level of opposition isn't on the same level, but you can't you gotta give him some credit, man. The guy's passed every test. I mean, even though he should have lost that Karakara fence fight, but the judges still gave it to him. Albazi, what's Albazi by submission? I mean, there's a role that you can get only plus 800. That's not even that good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Moreno. I'm gonna say he gets it done by money line. I'm gonna go with Moreno money line. I think I'll go over though. I'll go over the Albazi is pretty tough. It's not easy to finish out there. Karkar France has power and he couldn't get him out of there. Moreno has some nice sneaky body kicks, liver kicks, so maybe he can set one of those up. I think it's gonna go the distance. So those are my predictions for UFC Edmonton, guys. I'll be live for this card on Saturday, so make sure you guys come hang out with your boy at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. And if you guys want to see my bands, there's a link in the description. We've done really well this year, 13% ROI this year. We've done like on the UFC, I think we got like done pretty well. We do LFA also, LFA, PFL, Bellator, a lot other than UFC. So check that out. And I want to thank all the members for supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. It should be a fun card. I mean, this should be a fun card for sure. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Have a good weekend, and later.